do that. But, you know, and stuff like that. Yeah, so I want to talk about that. Why did God wait till I moved away to connect with Oprah Winfrey? I just moved to another town just because I wanted to, you know, and as I look back at it now, I really didn't know really why, because I knew that, like Kobe was from Philadelphia, so I imagined that we had that in common. Me and Kobe had that in common. But and we was in the same city. I'm not sure if Kobe was born in the same city, or I just knew that I looked to see where Kobe was from, and he was from Philadelphia. So that kind of told me that, hey, I'm from Philly too. But when it came to Oprah Winfrey, I said, hey, you know, I'm not from she's from Mississippi. I'm not from Mississippi. And then I said, well, where did you see her? I saw her in a different state, and she was on the TV. When I had clicked on the TV, and she was on there as a news anchor. And then I said, well, why did God hook me up with her? Why did he wait for me to move out of Philly to connect with her? You know, why did he wait? Why didn't he wait? Why didn't he use her in Philly to connect to her? And the reason is because I wouldn't have got her on the Philly stations, the news stations. And so if she was the news anchor woman, I wouldn't have got her on the Philly news stations. But he waited till I moved away into a different state to connect with her. You know, like that. And I was like, well, where did I see her? You know, and stuff like that. And I know where I seen her at. And, but again, I was not going to get Oprah here in Philly on the Philly station. I was not going to get her, and so God waited until I moved away out of the state of Pennsylvania and moved somewhere else in order to connect with her, get somewhere where she's at, and for you to connect with her. And that's exactly what happened. You know, because I was like, I couldn't, like, why did he make sure that I moved away? Like, because that was the only way to get connected with Oprah. Like, that was the only way to get connected with Oprah. You know, like that. That was the only way. And you know, like that. And at that point, you know, I realized, you know, that he waited till I moved away. You know, I was like, hey, you know, the other thing I thought was that again, why did he do it with the other news anchor women that were here in Philly? Because I think Beverly Williams, Lisa Thomas Laurie, Eleanor Jean Henley, I did in some way connect with them because I watched them on the news channels. So I did connect in some way with them. but I think God wanted another superstar, another future superstar, and I think and he chose Oprah. And for some reason I don't know, but these people, when I think about Kobe and Oprah, they're highly unusual names. Like, I mean, you very seldom hear a person named Kobe. You very seldom hear a person named Oprah. You know, he chooses people that are different, like different in name. If for some reason they're the first heard of names. You know, they're not usual names. You know, but I think again he used Oprah. He waited until I moved away. But again, I think God did it based on my interests. Definitely based on my interests. Same as with Kobe Bryant, with Oprah. Same thing. But he was not going to get to Oprah here. He was not going to get to Oprah Winfrey in the state of Pennsylvania. Or Philly, shall I say. He was not going to get to Oprah, for me to get to Oprah. And Philly. He was not going to get to her station where she's at in Philly. Because if I had to turn her on to TV, if I could have got her, I probably didn't have to go anywhere. But he made sure I moved to another state to connect with her. Like, and I had to be in a place where she where I could see her, and also I think it was a point of and made sure that I remembered Oprah as well. I mean, remembered her that I did turn, and it wasn't like a whole lot of distraction, like it wasn't like a whole lot of like distraction type stuff where I wouldn't remember her. Like it was, that's how I remembered her. It wasn't like a whole lot of distraction there, like you know, like you know, if you got so much going on through your life and stuff like that, and you know, you may not remember. But at that particular time, there wasn't a whole lot of distraction there, like, and it made sure that I would remember her, and it wasn't by name, it was by face. It wasn't by name that I remembered her, it was by face. Her appearance and stuff like that. That's how I remember her, Joyce Myers, and Billy Graham, by their faces. It wasn't by their names, because I didn't know any of them. I didn't know Oprah, I didn't know Joyce or Billy. By their names, I didn't even know their names. I seen them on TV. I only seen them through a 1 to 2 minute time period. I didn't even know their names. I just knew them by their faces. And the next time I seen them, I say, hey, that's the woman I saw, or that's the man I saw, or that's the woman I saw on TV. You know, and stuff like that. I just remember their faces. And then when I seen them the next time, I remember their faces, and I say, hey, that's the one. And that's when I found out their actual names. I didn't even know their names. But here's the thing, what Oprah, God made sure that, I think God wanted me to see Oprah. I think He wanted me to see that part of myself. That was, again, I think they both stepped in. And sparked what was in me already, with Kobe, with Oprah, like that. And that's why He used them. That's what I believe. I think that's why He used them. Even if I had stopped at that point or whatever, like once I threw the ball up, at that point it was, I wasn't playing basketball, me per se, but God used Kobe and like that to show, like, I think it was like to show me, like, you know, what I could have done with Kobe, what I could have done with Oprah. I think that's why they're there, to show me what I could have done. Like if like He didn't have to like have me go over there and turn the TV or throw the ball up and stuff like that to connect to Kobe and to realize that was already in me. He didn't have to show it through Kobe if I had done it myself. Like, that's what I think. But again, I think it's the same way with Oprah. He didn't have to show. I mean, He showed me through them, and you know, like that. You know, you know, because if it wasn't going to be like that, then I could have saw them years later. I didn't have to like go into the TV and turn on. I didn't have to throw the basketball up. I didn't have to do either one. I just could have saw Kobe and Oprah years later at some point. You know, I didn't have to throw the ball up or go over there and turn the TV on. But I think it was through that. I think that God showed me through them. And, you know, like that. I think that's why He used my interest to connect. He used my interests, the two interests that I had, to connect, right, to two people who had those same interests, and like that, and connect, and so, you know, who was going to become a basketball player. And then He used Oprah, who became a news, who was a news anchor woman already. But I'm going to show her. I'm going to show you something else about her too. You know, and stuff. Something else about you. You know, and stuff like that. That you is going to not only be a news anchor woman, you're going to be a talk show host too. You know, and stuff like that. And to do that through them, you know. But again, I think God waited until I moved away from Philly in order to do that, to show me, you know, my interests, you know, like that, and to show it through another superstar. He's using these superstars to show me. I think if Kobe had it been a regular person, or Oprah would have been a regular person, I probably wouldn't have paid much interest to it. I think because they were superstars. It really caught my attention because they were superstars. And I was like, if they were regular people, I probably wouldn't have paid much attention. I think because they superstars. I say, well, I'm not a superstar, like that. But what made them so special? Like what made you want me to connect to them, and why was they so special? And stuff like that. And again, it wasn't like they were superstars when he first connected me with them, because they wasn't. But here's the thing. I was like, well, why wait? Why did I wait? A couple of years later, or 20-something years with Kobe, years later, and they at some point became superstars. And so, like, why did they become superstars? Like, even if they wasn't superstars when I first met them, but God had to know that they had to become superstars years later, and stuff like that. I wasn't like I'm regular Joe Blow or regular female, or whatever you want to call it. I'm not rich and famous. I didn't become rich and famous later, but they did. You want to say that I'm them? I'm them. The only thing I can look at is that God showed me what I could do through them, what I could do through them. Now, are they me? I would not say that. I don't think that is. I don't know how we could be in two separate bodies and be the same person. I don't know if God make life like that. Can we be two separate people but the same individual? Like, can we be two separate people but the same person? I don't know if God make people like that. I don't know. I don't know. But when I look at the interest part, I was like, well, why you hook me up with them? If I wasn't a basketball, if I do the ball past half court and all this whole stuff, that's special in itself. So, but then I look at how special Kobe Bryant was as a basketball player. Then I look how special that was. So, was that a carbon copy of me? Was Kobe a carbon copy of me? And then when I look at Oprah, same thing. And when I News Anchor Woman, I mean, when I had that interest and I had that, I believe that I had the interest in that. And never knowing like what I could have came up at if I had continued at. And I think what he did was he matched me up with Oprah. And once he matched me up with them, can we be two separate individuals, but the same person? I wonder about that. Because I think what Oprah Winfrey is different. I think in some ways we're somewhat like, our backgrounds are somewhat alike, and stuff like that. And there's a lot of similarities there as well. When I looked at her mother, her father, and some things I look at Oprah. I see some similarities there. When I looked at Kobe, the same thing. I see similarities there. And I say, can we be two separate individuals but the same person? I don't know if God made people like that. I don't know if God made people like that. Like, can we be two separate individuals? Can we be two separate persons but the same person? I mean, and two separate bodies, but the same person. Perhaps. You never know how God make us up. Like make us up as individuals, like, and how we connect to different people. You never know how God makes up people and how He could use people and this, that, and the other. I would think that the interest will be there. The interest. Me and Kobe can connect based on the interest. Now, could I have connect with Kobe in other ways? Yeah, I would think the dream thing, the accident thing. We did connect. There was some similarities there when it came to that. But and I was like, well, what about Oprah? It was the same one. When I looked at some similarities, when I looked at the similarities, I was like, oh man, could we be the same individual? Could we be in two separate bodies but the same person? Like, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like that, man. But it's amazing how God works, man, and how He can show Himself through us, man, and how He can show His based on whatever He wants to do or whatever He wants to show us. Then I had that spark in me, yeah. But I think He matched me up to ignite what was in me through them. Like, that's why He used me to connect with them. That's why He used me to connect with them. Like, to spark whatever was in me right through them, and it showed in their lives. Like, it showed in their lives what was in me. Like that, and it showed up in their life. That's what I think. Because then, if it didn't have to be like that, then he would need me to connect with them. Then the spark could have just showed through their lives by themselves. It didn't need me to connect with them. And I think that God used me to connect them, to them, to show me what I had in me, and it showed in their lives. Like, because the thing I would say is that, well, you doesn't need me to connect to them if they already had it in them already. You doesn't need me. So, but I think he waited until, you know, till I connected with them, and based on me throwing the ball up past half court and all this other stuff, and did that amazing thing, that okay, I'm gonna show you some more amazement that you could do Kobe, do Kobe, do Kobe, and I'm gonna show you some more amazing things that you could do Oprah and stuff like that. Once you connect with her, it's gonna show out through her life what you do, what you can do, or what you did, and stuff like that. Because the thing I would say that, well, you didn't need me to connect with them if they already had that power or that talent already in them. You didn't need me. And by the way, I didn't become an ankle woman or a basketball player. So you didn't need me. I mean, what I'm saying is that I didn't become a noose ankle woman or a basketball player. But I wonder if you needed me to spark that power within them. And this is what I see. Once based on my interests, to connect with them and spark that energy through them. And you know, why did God wait until I connect with Oprah? Why did he do that? He knew I wasn't going to become a news anchor woman. You know, so it wasn't that. It wasn't that. So, so why did he wait until I moved to another town to connect with Oprah? Why did he do that? For me to connect with her, spark the power. To show me through her, and like that, and show me through Kobe. And that's what I think exactly what happened. And you know, and you know, like that. And you know, it's amazing that, you know, when I think about how he waited until I left Philadelphia. And you know, and to connect with Oprah. He waited till I left Philadelphia to connect with her. And you know, and and you know, you sit there and say, you know, but I see why he did it, because Oprah wasn't going to be shown on Philadelphia's TV stations as a news anchor woman. So, but why did he wait for me to connect with her? And you know, because he knew that I wasn't going to become a news anchor woman, though. So I think it was the power connected at that point. Just like Kobe, the power. Connected. All I had to do was throw the ball up with him and stuff. And he was born, and he became a future basketball player. And then when I connect with her, you know, she's already a news anchor woman. But God wanted me to spark something within her, me and her, and look what she became. Just like Kobe. That's what it made me think. I threw the ball up. Kobe was just born, so you know, they didn't know what he was going to be, but because I threw the ball up, and he became a future basketball player. So that let me know that energy and the power from me went to him. And the same thing I think with Oprah is that the power and the energy and the news anchor in me went straight to Oprah, even though she was a new single woman already. But here's the thing: she didn't stop there. She went to the talk show, and I do some talking as well. But here's the thing: that he knew that that's not all that she was going to be, and he knew that that's not all that I am either. And I think that because he used me to spark whatever was in me into her, and at that point, that's why when I uh, uh, ran into her as a talk show host, he made sure that he showed me. He made sure that he makes her show me that she was the news anchor woman at first. Like that. He made sure that he showed me that she was the news anchor woman first. When she was the talk show host, he made sure that he let me see that she was the news anchor woman first. Like that. God is something, man. God is, he is something. And here's the thing, the other thing, like, when in 2011, when she ended her talk show, in 2011, I did the same thing. I do my shit on YouTube. It was like the end of the music, because I put a lot of music up on that, and I don't think I put music on after that. I think a couple things I may have, but I on YouTube, I did a lot of that. The same year that she did hers, I did the same thing. The same year, no, the same month and year, the same month. In May of 2011, she ends her talk show. In May of 2011, I put myself on YouTube. The same month, the same year. I think we are the same person, even though we are in separate bodies. Like, I think we are the same person, but in separate bodies. That's what I think. Was Kobe the same person? Was I Kobe? Was Kobe me, or whatever? In two separate bodies. I'm not sure if Kobe was me. Kobe was married with children, and so I'm not married. But here's the thing. I wouldn't go as far as the totalness of me, but I would say based on the interests and what I had in me. It had nothing to do like with their personal lives or anything that they did. I think it was the professional stuff. It was like the basketball stuff, or it's something that the news anchor woman or the talk show host. It was stuff like that, the professional stuff. It wasn't like Kobe. I was married with children. I was not married with children. But here's the thing. I think with Kobe, I didn't have children at the time. I was 15. And then years later, I was not married with children. So I don't have that in common with Kobe. But I think it's the professionalism stuff. The like whatever the profession was, I connected that way. you know, again, God used my interest, not like their personal lives and all that stuff. I think it's the interest, stuff. It was not like their personal life. They married with children, or they got boyfriend here and all this sort of stuff. And all. I don't think it's any of that stuff. I think it was through the professionalism stuff, like their work, like the work stuff. Like Kobe was a basketball player, Oprah was a news anchor woman, then she became a talk show host, and stuff like that. It's that type stuff, the professionalism stuff. It wasn't about be married with children or single or got a boyfriend and all that stuff. It wasn't anything like that. But again, it was all about the interest thing. Interest in whatever my interest was when it came to the professionalism stuff. Like what do you want to be? A basketball player? What do you want to be? A news anchor woman? What do you want to be? A talk show host? This stuff like that. Stuff like that. It had nothing to do with being married with children and all that sort of stuff. And I think God used it, but I think God used, he waited, hooked me up right with Kobe, and at that point, the same stuff that happened when I was past half court and threw the ball up toward the basket, that same specialness shows up in Kobe Bryant's life. Like that same basketball specialness that I showed that day showed up in Kobe Bryant's life. The same professionalism that shows up in Oprah when she did the news. I had that with them, and he matched me up with her, and it shows up in her life as well. And I don't think again, he hooks me up with them. Like if they so-called had that, then why did he hook me up with them then? If they had that professionalism and they had all this old stuff before I connects to them, then why did I have to? I mean, he didn't have to use me then. He didn't have to use me then. They could have just been that on their own. Like, he didn't have to use me then. He didn't have to hook me up with her. He didn't have to hook me up with Kobe and stuff like that. He didn't have to do any of that. And stuff. So when I think about that, then I would go with and how it started. How it started. And how it started. And how it started, man. But again, and how it started, and how it started, man. It doesn't necessarily mean that they gotta you have to do this, you have to do that, and all this old stuff, and I just thought it was amazing how God waited, and he waited until I left Philly, and to hook up with her. Like, it couldn't have been no one else to do that with. Like, why didn't he use Beverly Williams or, stuff like that? But I think he used Oprah. Um, 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 I think he used Oprah. It was based on based on the um, um, the talk show thing, and I think not only the news anchor, the talk show too, and stuff like that. But I don't think it was just limited to the news anchor. I don't think it was just limited to the news anchor and stuff like that. I believe that's exactly what happened. I think Kobe Bryant was the one that showed me that's exactly what happened. Because here's the thing. If I was past half court and I threw the ball up toward the basket, I was way past half court, and it goes and a future basketball player is born the same year that I threw the ball up. Now, being though that it was special in a sense that I was way past half court and I threw the ball up toward the basket and it goes in. And that type of specialness showed up in Kobe Bryant's basketball career, his basketball playing. Look, that same type of specialness shows up in Kobe Bryant's basketball playing. So if it showed up with him, that same type of behavior type stuff, when it came to the basketball that I threw up that day, if that specialness was there and that specialness transferred to Kobe Bryant's NBA career and his playing time when he played, then I imagine the same thing happened with Oprah Winfrey. If I had